When I was on, I started to decay. When nothing ever goes my way. When I was born, I started to decay. When nothing ever goes my way.
David!
Neil! Back to stalking me and creeping up on me again, I see.
No, you've misread the situation again, I see.
Nonsense! You shouldn't lie on national television, Neil. It makes you look rather silly.
Right, David, before you carry on, we need to have a chat.
I'm all ears. David is all ears.
Well, your 200th episode was great.
Thank you very much, I know, but it's still good to get feedback from others in the industry.
But I haven't forgotten what happened before in the previous episode.
No? That surprises me, as you seem to have a memory like a bucket that's got all holes in it.
Enough, David. You tried to attack me, and I told you to get out, and I meant it.
Absolutely not! Ah! No, David thought about attacking you, but didn't want to be up on a manslaughter charge, so I opted for the simple launch and pulled my arm in at the last second so as not to clothesline you and leave you gasping for air on the ground.
No, you tried to attack me, and you failed miserably because you're a silly little man.
You wash your mouth out! You can't speak to David like that. You can't speak to the head of security like that. I'm the head of the rapid response team as well, and I will respond to you commensurately. And as the caretaker, I'll set a trap for you to fall into, and you'll spend the night cold and worried and wondering why you spoke to David like that.
No, David, you're in a lot of trouble. Ewan had a word with you, didn't he?
Yeah, but I set him straight and he ended up thanking me for letting him be on my show.
Maybe so, but he's had a word with Sue and other members of staff, and they're all very angry at you.
Angry at David? No, you've got the wrong end of the stick, and I suggest you've probably got the wrong stick as well. You really are like a potato that decided to get dressed one day and pretend to be a person.
David, stop with the insults.
I am not insulting you. David does not insult. He merely states facts.
Well, you're in trouble, and I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't have a number of staff all wanting to come and tell you off, particularly Sue.
Neil, your empty threats are quite pointless. You forget who you're talking to. And I suggest you remember, and fast, because I've already shown you that I'm not to be messed with, because I'm David, the head of security, the rapid response team, and caretaker at the centre at Burnham.
David, you are none of those things. You're a silly little man who sits in the studio all day waiting for someone to come along so that you can talk nonsense to them.
You rude, arrogant, and quite frankly pathetic little boy. David will have you out on your ear. Now, enough of your petty whining and tell me. Have you seen him?
Who, Dion Dublin?
Not Dion Dublin! Good grief! No, the Danger Man!
I thought you'd finally gotten over that little fantasy.
Good grief, Neil! This is real life, and if it wasn't, it'd be a nightmare, my friend, not a fantasy.
Well, I suggest it's both. And no, I'm not a part of this. I have never and never will see him.
Neil, you so are a part of this. I seen him looking over your shoulder and sniggering in your ear.
David, you're hallucinating.
David does not hallucinate. David is totally straight edge. My hedonistic days are behind me, and I know what I see today, and I seen him. Yeah, I seen him.
David, we've gone off topic. You're in a lot of trouble, and from now on, I want you to sit quietly while I'm working.
Working, he says. Good grief. Neil, you've never done a day's work in your life. No, let me tell you about working. When I was 2 years old, I got my 5th job working in a quarry. I had to move from Louisville in the US of A all the way over to Barnsley here in the UK. And at 2 years old, it was quite an upheaval, but I needed the cash. And there was a promise of a better tomorrow, so over here I came. Now, I came over on a boat, which they said was unsinkable, but we hit an iceberg and many, many people died. Yeah, lost their lives that day. I was actually left fending for my life in the ocean, in freezing conditions. Yeah, just floating on a bit of debris from the ship with the woman that I loved. Alas, she couldn't cope with the conditions and succumbed to them, leaving David a widower, moving to a new and scary place.
What, Barnsley?
Moving to Barnsley, yes, and I wish you wouldn't interrupt David like that.
When you were 2 years old?
When I was 2 years old, yes. You've done it again though, Neil.
David, what year was it when you were 2 years old?
Oh, I forget.
Well, what you're describing sounds like you've watched the Titanic on TV and you've adjusted the story to fit yourself.
How dare you question something that is still so raw and upsetting?
Because the whole thing is a lie. 5th job at 2 years old, married at 2 years old.
Neil, I'm from a different time. We had to grow up fast, and I mean fast.
No, I've heard enough for today, David. You need to really behave from now on and stop lying to everyone. I'll see you soon.
How dare you? You deluded and quite frankly senseless man. Good grief. See you soon, Neil. One clothesline coming your way. Good grief. I love David.